Hey there guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another best class setups video in Modern Warfare. Today we have a very interesting one here, and it makes a fantastic little combination as one of the best sidearms in the game right now. The X16 pistol Akimbo variety, of course, is a very interesting pistol setup, and it does combine well with this particular vector class setup that we've got going on here. We're of course going to be focusing on the actual sidearm itself here. Like when we did the Akimbo M19 class, this does feature a main weapon, which is very beneficial to our secondary. But just before we do get into talking about this here, let's try and get this one to 28 likes. The support from you guys has continued to be absolutely fantastic recently, and we've gone up about 30, so many subscribers in the last couple of days. I think thanks to a couple of different videos that are absolutely popping off right now. So I gotta thank you all. So if you haven't already done so, make sure you do hit that subscribe button with those notifications turned on so you don't miss out on any of the best class setups in Modern Warfare right now. So let's talk about our Akimbo X16 class setup here, which might be the best Akimbo sort of sidearm in the game right now. So usually we start off with the sidearm first, but we're going to save that for a little bit later, and we'll talk about our primary attachments first. We are starting with the Fennec here, as this does share the ammunition with the X16, which is very, very important here. And you can pretty much equip this whatever you like, as long as you do take the 40-round drum mag and the fully loaded perk. We're taking the ZLR 18-inch deadfall barrel for that damage range, recoil control, bullet velocity, and sound suppression, making us very powerful at range. We're also taking the 5mm laser here for that hip fire accuracy and sprint to fire speed, and combining this with the Merc foregrip just so we get that hip fire accuracy, that recoil control, and apparently about a 4% boost to our movement speed. The Merc foregrip and the 5mm laser make this an absolute hip fire machine, basically meaning we don't have to aim down sight at all on either of our weapons here, which is pretty hilarious. As I said, this is a very powerful option, but we're mostly using this for the 40-round drum mag and the fully loaded perk. As for our perks here, we're going with a very standard setup of EOD, Ghost, and Tracker. You can pretty much use whatever you like here, like if you like Quick Fix, Kill Chain, whatever you want to use in the first perk slot. I'm going with EOD because the explosives in this game are very, very powerful, especially those C4s. Perk 2, we are taking Ghost here just to make us undetectable on those UAVs, basically keeping us hidden, allowing us to move around the map quite easily without being spotted. And lastly, we want Tracker, just in case we do see any of those enemy footprints, we can follow them, chase them, and kill them pretty easily. As for our lethal, of course, we do rock the C4 on most of our aggressive classes. Chuck it over a wall, around a corner is very, very powerful. Also can be used as a pretty basic smoke screen. You chuck it around a corner or an area you want to cross, you blow it up, and that smoke will allow you to cross the area. And as for the tactical, we're rocking the stim shot, as we always do. Right, so the real star of the show here is, of course, the X16, backed up by the fully loaded and, of course, 40-round drum mags with this particular thing. Basically, we want to be able to be very, very powerful at those close range options. This is a very powerful option at close range, as I just said. This is a very powerful close range option regardless of what primary you're taking, though. You can pretty much throw this on any class that you like and you will do a fantastic job up close. Especially perfect for those snipers or those assault rifles, in which it's a little bit more difficult to fight at those close ranges. As for our attachments here, we're starting off with a bit of damage range with the monolithic suppressor. Sound suppression damage range, very important. I know this does increase our hipfire spread by making it a little bit bigger than it normally is, but I feel like the extra range we do get is a very powerful option. About a 7 to 10% increase to our damage range. So being able to shoot those bullets a little bit further and do the maximum damage is still very, very powerful. That is also passed on to the SynGuard Arms Advantage barrel for the damage range and bullet velocity, allowing those bullets to hit the target much, much faster, much further away. Makes it a very, very powerful option. I'm sure this does increase our hip fire spread as well, but again, one of those options that we can pretty much live with, as we can reduce this with our laser, of course. Now normally we do have two options here, and this is no exception. So the 1mm laser is for those stealthy options. If you are using this as your primary weapon, this is a very powerful option, so you don't get seen with that hip fire accuracy and without that visible laser on the 1mm. However, if you're more aggressive and you don't really care about that visible laser, take the 5mm option, as it is statistically better. You get a tighter hip fire accuracy and you get that sprint to fire speed as well, which is very, very powerful. Plus, those lasers don't actually appear if you are sprinting around the map, which if you are using this very, very aggressively, which you should be, is not a problem. 5mm laser is also a good option just if you're using this as a random secondary on just any class. So the 5mm option is statistically better, but if you don't like that visible laser, take the 1mm option. Of course, we are taking the lightweight trigger just for the maximum fire rate, allowing us to get those bullets down range is very, very powerful. Basically, fastest fire rate is always good. And rounding it out here is the Akimbo perk, giving us two of these fantastic close range weapons. Essentially, with the boost we do get from the ammo capacity of the fully loaded and the 40-round drum mags from the Fennec, we don't need to worry about extra ammo. I think we get like 330 spare ammo. So, I mean, we're never going to run out of ammo with this unless you go on like a nuke streak, super, super long kill streaks. You'll probably run out of ammo, but if you're just running around having a good time with this, you are never going to run out of ammo. It's very, very powerful. So, of course, we are going to jump into some gameplay here now that you've got your attachments. If you are going to dip out of the video after you've got your attachments, I do appreciate you stopping by. But for the rest of you, as I said, we're going to go into some gameplay, absolutely shredding people on hopefully one of the close range maps in this game. This game is halfway through, but I feel like we can do some serious work here. While this class is focused around the Akimbo X16s, I feel like this Fennec class setup is no slouch either. Basically, the hipfire accuracy is very, very powerful with this. Like, just wait for people to come around the corner, be very, very aggressive here. No fear, no time to worry about what's going to be around the corner. Oh god, that hurt. Switch weapons and come around the corner and get the hip fire kill. I'm pretty sure there's going to be somebody peeking up over the top there very, very soon. So we do kind of have to get out of here. But the fire rate and the close range damage on the Akimbo X16 is very, very powerful. Like, stupid powerful. I'm sure the Akimbo perk is one that is very difficult for Infinity Ward to balance, but that's not my problem. Like, that isn't my burden to bear, as I didn't design the game. So we'll just take a lay down here while we reload our weapons. We're actually going to get pushed from behind, maybe? No, we're going to pick up back this way. Try and play in those close quarters areas again, nice and tight to the enemy, because, as I said, this is a very close range class. Like, we don't even have a longer range option to sort of look after us here. Like, those sort of options or those sort of distances can be a bit of a problem with this, but I mean, this is a lot of fun to use, and it really does show off the power of this secondary on its own. Like, so we want to make this as powerful as possible, but I mean, this class is just like a bit of fun. Okay, not ideal, but again, I figured I mentioned this in a lot of my other Akimbo class setups. It's very important to recognize how you move as you're trying to kill people with these, because if you slide and move at the same time, or sorry, if you slide and shoot at the same time, your hip fire accuracy just goes to shit. Like, it's pretty much impossible to kill someone if you sort of sprint, slide, as the hip fire accuracy just sprays out, it fans out, and it is not very good. Come around, I should expect someone to be here. I had somebody ask me very recently if the Akimbo M19 and the Akimbo X16s are very similar, or which I prefer. They're similar. They're basically the same gun. Like, they shoot different ammunition, so they are obviously different, but I mean, in terms of actual playstyle, they are very much the same. Like, you just run around, spray people down, and get kills. This class, or these Akimbo pistols, are typically designed around, like, using them as a secondary, but man, like, you can just run around, have a good time. If you're looking to de-stress after a long day or whatever, just sprint around with these and have an absolute blast, because it is, I mean, dying's not very fun, but it is very fun to sprint around with these and have a good time. Now we got the last little pick on that guy there, but we did manage to lose the game. I mean, we only got 10 kills in that one, so we might jump into another one here. Alrighty, so we will only be showing you a shortened section of this game, so the video isn't like 18 minutes long, but you just got to get nice and close to people. Rust isn't really ideal, as there isn't a lot of cover to play around with, which is a little bit annoying, but I mean, as long as you are playing in those close quarters situations, you can do some serious work here. Just got to get nice and close to the enemy. No fear, got to be... That guy's a little bit annoying to deal with. So we're going to chuck our C4 up there. Tagged him, which is good, but I mean, it's not going to deter him from doing it. Alright, so yeah, as I said, Rust is a little bit annoying to play this particular class setup on, just because of the wide open spaces. There isn't a lot of cover to sort of wedge ourselves between and make it a little bit easier for ourselves, but I mean, you just got to be brave, you got to be aggressive. This guy is expecting us to go around that side. He's missed again, and we're going to go this way. Very important to pay attention to how you're moving around the map, and it's important that you are able to outplay people in that particular way. Like, you got to know what they would rather you do, like how they would expect you to play, and basically just do the exact opposite of what they want you to do, which in that situation there was just continue on my path, because that's what I would normally have done, and I'm sure that's what many people would. Oh god, this is a... Yeah. It's important that you're also not just in the middle of the map. Just with this, like, I mean, any class in general, you just shouldn't be like right in the... You shouldn't be right in the middle of the map anyway, as sort of sticking to the edges is a better way to sort of rack up those longer kills. We shouldn't be fighting at longer distances with this. As I was saying, it's important to stay like on the outside of the map, as that's sort of the best way to get those Let me finish my sentence. So, stay on the outside of the map. It's very important as you can go on those long... Okay, this is bad. And then we back up this way. We outplayed him there. He was expecting us to go around that side, which, I mean, again, it's just one of those things, but I would also... Come on. But basically, I think you get the idea of what we're trying to go for with this particular class setup. Like, you just get very, very close to people and just spray them down with these pistols. This is a very, very powerful option regardless of whether you're trying to use it as a secondary or a primary. You can still do a decent amount of work with this if this is your only weapon, and you can have some fun. So we'll have our final thoughts on this in just a second. So what do we think of our Akimbo X16 class setup here? And is it better than the M19? Well, I think they are very, very similar in terms of the output that you get when you're using these as close range weapons. I think the M19 might be a little bit stronger in terms of actually being able to use them as a solo weapon, whereas the X16 is more of a pull it out in desperate situations when people are very close to you, and you will mostly get the kill pretty much every time. I feel like the Fennec is not a great option to pair with this, but you do get that extra ammo, so it's one of those things where it's a cool combination. It's a neat little like advantage that you can get with the fully loaded and 40 round drum mags, but normally I would just run around with this as a secondary without having to combo it with this and get a better primary. Overall, I think this is a very, very powerful close range option. It's one of the best Akimbos available at the moment, so I do rate this very, very highly. If you haven't already done so and you did enjoy this one, make sure you do hit that subscribe button with those notifications turned on. I think we managed to pass 2,200 subscribers very recently, which is super exciting. So again, thank you very much for watching this one. I do appreciate it, of course, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!